Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
What's up, everybody? Kevin Jackson. It's the Kevin Jackson Show. KJRadio.com. So happy to be with you. I want to first apologize. On Friday, we ran a show. I had my guest host, one of my producers. He did the show, used some very unsavory language. Not exactly sure how that didn't get caught. But if you happen to have gotten that hour of the show, we apologize. I apologize on behalf of the program directors who put a lot of faith in me and my team to put together a show that is, I call it PG-13. We're not going to be, such prudes that, I'm not a G-rated show per se. I don't think we say anything that's strictly super controversial. We have a little fun, tongue-in-cheek here and there. But what we did last Friday went above and beyond and never should have aired. And we are certainly making the changes necessary to make sure that never happens again. So my apologies. And the professional people that work at your station, they do their best to make sure that things like that don't occur. But occasionally we all make mistakes. So I'm not going to blame my team members or whatever. I fall on the sword for what happens on this program. And please do not blame your station, the station managers, the station owners, the program managers and directors. It was not their faults. Anyway, glad you guys are with me. I was in New York, and the reason I was there is twofold. One, I went to the Gold Glove Awards for the Major League Baseball. It's for all the best defensive players. And what an event. I love going to this event. A friend of mine, Ray Mira, is one of the people that puts the event on behalf of Spalding. And I have to tell you, first class, number one event. My son loves it. He gets to meet all these, Major League Hall of Famers, Andre Dawson, Omar Vizquel. Our good friend Ozzie Smith was there again. Ozzie looks like he's getting younger every year. The guy looks like he can still play. I met the guys that do the analytics for baseball. Really interesting story there. And who else? Well, of course, Derek Jeter. He got the humanitarian. He got what's called the Hart Award because Derek does a lot of stuff outside of baseball that's really important. So they highlighted his charity and many others. I mean, it's just such a great group of folks. And of course, my buddy Joe Piscopo is the one who emceed it. So it was at that event, and then I went to the ZOA event, which is a big Jewish event. And here's what's so cool about this. The person who invited me to this event, which is put on by Sheldon Adelson, one of the most wealthy benefactors to the conservative movement out there. They wanted me there because they see how the Jewish community and the black community can work together and change politics, conservative politics, because many of the Hollywood Jews are secular. They don't care about their religion. They don't care about Israel. This group is conservative. They say to themselves, they have the same lament of blacks like me that say, what in the heck would we be voting Democrat for? We have nothing in common with them. So it was so cool to be among those types of folks. They honored people that I didn't know. So culturally, I was glad to meet those folks. And of course, there were people there that I did know, Joe Lieberman and many other political Jewish folks. And I'm not saying Lieberman considered himself a moderate. And I've met in fact, I was with Lieberman in Paris, 3 months ago? No, it's been longer than that, probably 6 months ago. So look, I'm not concerned about his politics. The majority of people at this event were the power brokers in the Jewish community who want to see real change, and I'm flattered that they want to work with somebody like me. So, needless to say, I was the skunk at the picnic party in a sense because I stood out, but I wasn't considered a skunk. I mean, contrary to what people may have you believe, these were very ingratiating folks wanting to work with my team. So that being said, that was my rationale for being in New York, and it was such fun to be there. And it's always it's good for me to visit, but I don't really like to live there. And I could tell you, story after story. Found some pot just walking along. It was at a park, found some pot. So there's a kind of an interesting story. Tried to turn it over to 5 or 6 police officers, and they go, can't take it, can't take it, can't take it. They had the Veterans Day parade while I was in New York, and that was a thrill. Seeing all the veterans, young and old. A lot of Vietnam vets are now starting to come out and discuss, what their lifestyle has been post-war, and starting to get their due. So that was fun as well. Anyway, we got a ton of stuff to talk about today. Why? Because President Trump is in Asia still and making mad progress. And there are many signs that I noticed over the weekend that point to the success of Donald Trump and his agenda. And I want to go through some of that. I also want to talk about the people who still suffer from Trump derangement syndrome. So I'm going to get into that in the next segment. And then, I want to talk about what I'm calling, and I think is being known as, the Trump jinx. And it has to do with people who go against Donald Trump and what's happening in their lives. How are these people being impacted? Is Trump winning, or is the left winning when it comes to being anti-Trump? Now, we can begin this thing by talking about foreign policy. And one of the things that I'll give you an example, Barack Obama never did use the Navy 7th Fleet to do war games, if you will, in the South China Sea and over in that area of the world. The last one that was done was in 2007 under Bush. And so people wonder, why does Kim Jong-un, why is he coming out so much and now being very defiant? Well, he was left alone to build his nuclear program that Bill Clinton ushered in on his behalf. And then Barack Obama left him alone. He let Iran and North Korea go along their merry way, 2 of the most crazy regimes in the world, going along to build nuclear weapons. And he did nothing. And so now we're dealing with the fallout. So now Kim Jong-un's finally being treated like the fat little ugly kid that he is, and he's rebelling. He's not going to win. The media is not going to win this battle. And it's funny that, and this touches on what I want to get to in one of the segments. How's Donald Trump? Donald Trump called him, said something along the lines like, I won't call him fat and short and fat, even though he called me old. And normally, comedians on the left, they pick up on this stuff and they go to beat up Trump. He's not presidential, but something very different happened. Anyway, a lot going on, folks. We'll be back in just a minute.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.
Beth Cook Moranville, author of Closer Than Your Breath, a book of hope.
Hope, that wonderful, wonderful 4-letter word that you may feel completely out of. I wrote this book to give you great hope. It's not too late. If fetal position is an all too familiar place for you, I understand. If the next 60 seconds are too long, this book is for you. Wherever you are right now, whether you're dealing with divorce or death or sickness, take hope. You are going to make it through this pain. Don't roll your eyes. I've walked this road and I know it. The best is yet to come.
Closer Than Your Breath, a book of hope from author and speaker Beth Cook Moranville, can be found on Amazon.com or Kindle.com. For more information, visit closerthanyourBreath.com or on Facebook at Closer Than Your Breath.